The Schaumburg Athletic Association sponsors 8 sports with over 6,000 participants in an environment that promotes safety and enjoyment for all. With me now to talk about the organization and our Vice Presidents John Watson and Mike Scherenhausen. Well, welcome to Speaking of Schaumburg.
Thank you.
Tell me about your involvement with the SAA. How'd you get started, and what do you do now?
I got started with my oldest son 15 years ago, coaching football. Moved into, and they followed him through the other sports and coached baseball, travel baseball, basketball. Continued on with my other 2 sons, so I've been coaching for 15 years. My kids now are in college and high school, but I'm still coaching football, and I'm a member of the executive board. I was head commissioner for football for 4 years. Been a vice president now for another 4 years. Now,
I mentioned 5,000 participants in the SAA. How many are involved in the football program?
There's 450 right now in the football program.
Okay, all right. And what's the age range there?
For the organization, it's 5 to 19.
Okay.
The football program is 5 to 14. We don't have high school kids.
Okay, so how many? I mean, are there separate divisions? I assume for 5 years old and not playing against a 12-year-old. So.
Yeah, in football.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we have 2 flag levels, a 5 to 7 and a 7 to 9 age group, and then we have 6 tackle divisions.
Okay.
Based on age and weight. So 80 pounds, 80, 90, 100, 115, 130 in varsity for weights, and then the ages spread out across there also. So we try to match kids up by age and weight.
You just play you play against Schaumburg teams, or do you ever go outside? Do you have travel leagues, or?
We play outside. We're part of the Northwest Youth Football League. We play against Mount Prospect, Arlington Heights, Elk Grove, Palatine. I'm leaving somebody out there.
How many games a season?
About 10, 11 games a season.
How good a coach are you?
I don't know. I'll defer that to the kids that have played for me.
All right. You guys won some championships, have you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Won a few over that time frame.
Okay.
It's a function of the kids. If you get a real good age group, the seniors that are at Schaumburg High School this year, Schaumburg High School had a real good football season. That's a real good age group that I had the pleasure of coaching a few years ago.
What's the extent of your involvement, Mike?
I got involved about 7 years ago. I've got a son who's 13 now. My daughter's 10, and I started out with rec soccer, which developed into travel soccer, coached basketball and baseball. Coached baseball the last 6 years. I've been a commissioner for the 10-year-olds the last 3 years. I think it's going to the 4th year now. Real involved with my daughter. She's involved with the cheer program, so I help out there. And they have a big program that they call it Spirit Spectacular at the Sears Center, and I help out with that competition as well as help out at the travel soccer. They have big tournaments over at Olympic Park. Help out with that as well. Just recently, with this project, we got involved with the Carriage House. Got involved with that and was asked to get on the executive board, and so I joined John and Denise and the others on the executive board just last month.
That's by the teen center, right? The Carriage House.
Yep, right across the way.
And you guys are going to take that over?
Well, that's the plan.
Okay.
Right now, the SA has the SA, what we call the SA House, which has a lot of equipment. Football, I think, has the basement, and baseball has a room in there, and actually a couple of rooms in there, and looking to take over the Carriage House and make that our new SA offices and move out of our facility on Lunt.
Okay. Now, what does a commissioner do?
For every sport does a little bit different. For instance, for baseball, I run the 10-year-old league. Okay. So what that means is after registrations come in, I'll go out and see who the managers are, who wants to be a manager, go out and find out, see who wants to be a manager, or go out and put on.
So you recruit then?
Recruit from the list of people to do it.
Okay.
That say they want to do it, and let them, and then put together the season. So the schedule, kind of keep them all in line. Say, here's the rules. Here's what we got to do. Here's the regular season, and here's how we run the season, instead of doing whether it's a playoff or a round robin tournament or however it's going to go.
Is there a limit to how many kids can get involved? Let's say in football or soccer or baseball. I mean, do you have some kind of upward limit?
Each sport is a little different. Football, there's no limit. We can take as many kids as we can, and it will take. In any sport, we'll basically take as many kids as we have spots for, or we can add teams to if we have enough kids to round out teams. Registrations do close based on certain numbers. When we hit that number, we know like baseball. 144, 12 teams of 12 per level is a number that I think baseball shoots for. Once those are filled up, then we would close down.
Is there a draft of some sort?
Yes. Well, depending on with baseball,
Okay,
that's coming up right now.
Okay, I got 2 kids. Okay, say I got a kid who's going to play football. I got a kid who's going to play baseball. How do you? I mean, you put them in a pool and a coach recruits them, or
yeah, actually, a lot of the
draw?
boys play multiple sports, and the girls as well. It's not uncommon for them to play both. John can talk about the football. For baseball, we just had our evaluations this last week, and I'm talking about rec baseball. There's also a travel program that's more competitive.
Sure.
But on the rec program, what we'll do is have the evaluation and run all the kids through it, get the managers and coaches get a chance to see what they look like, and then also have an independent evaluator. So the whole, let's say there's 80 kids in the league, or 140, run them through there, and then we'll take that information back as a commissioner. I take the independent evaluators in last year's draft and kind of put together a mock draft.
Okay.
And then
you put that draft together, or?
Yes.
Okay.
And then it will have at the draft meeting, we'll have a pre-draft meeting where we say, okay, here are the kids and how I have them ranked. You as coaches and managers, you know them better than I do. Should we move any of these kids around? So we'll do a little bit of horse trading, get the draft set, and then actually do an actual draft. That way there's parity across the league, and you don't have one team that's stacked with a whole bunch of kids. And
okay, you say there's a draft. Now what happens? A coach comes in and says, okay, I want this kid here, and then somebody else
you sit around the table.
Yep. It's like a round-robin thing.
Exactly. Right? Serpentine draft, you can only go down one round. Actually, I do it at the library. It'll be a Monday or Sunday afternoon, Monday night or Sunday afternoon. It takes anywhere from an hour to 3 hours, and get it all out and get all the boys and girls on the team.
Do you have any trades at all? Do coaches ever, say, okay, I pick this guy, you pick that guy. I prefer to have the guy you have, and I'll trade you this guy for that guy. Do you have any trades, or?
A little bit. The only trading allows to happen, though, is in that room. So once you leave that room, we're done messing around with it.
Okay.
So at that point there, if you want to trade because of whatever reason, if both coaches will agree to it, I don't have a problem with the trade. But then after that, it's locked in, and that's what it's going to be for the season.
What kind of success do you have with the kids that you bring through the program, let's say at the high school, when they go to Schaumburg High or Conant, or, what?
Pretty successful. I mean, because they're going through, and John can talk about more the football.
Sure.
But we try to get the high school coaches involved as far as what they're teaching the kids and making sure we're getting that skill set ingrained. So if they're running drills a certain way, we want to make sure we're running the same drills so they're used to it when they hit the so in baseball and somewhat in soccer. And I know John can talk about football more than I can.
Who's the most notable graduate you had in football?
Kurt Kittner, who played for the University of Illinois, played for Schaumburg High School, then University of Illinois, and then into the pros, would probably be the name that comes to mind.
Okay. The baseball utilize Lexington Field at all?
Travel does. Travel has had one day there every year. The last 3-4 years, my kids have been in travel baseball, so I've been able for them to go out there and play on the field, where they get out there with their 13 and 14s. They try to get their 2 oldest age groups out there.
Who can they call if they want to get their kid involved in SAA?
You can call the SAA office or go to our website.
What's that number?
847-352-7422.
Okay, and the website, it would be?
SAA-online.com.
Okay, very good. Hey, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. That'll do it for this edition of Speaking of Schaumburg. Join us again next month for another all-new episode. Until then, I'll see you around town.